Happiness isn't about what you own or what happens to you. It's about how you respond to life. The ancient Stoics understood this well. They taught that true peace comes from within, from mastering your mind, controlling your reactions, and focusing on what you can change. In this speech, I'll share 11 timeless Stoic principles that will help you build unshakable happiness. These are not just theories, they are practical rules to help you face challenges, let go of negativity, and live with purpose. If you seek a life of joy, resilience, and wisdom, this is where it begins. 1. Control what you can, accept what you can't. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is learning to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus stated, "Some things are up to us and some things are not." This distinction is crucial to achieving inner peace and happiness. Most of our suffering comes from trying to control things beyond our power. Other people's opinions, unforeseen events, or even the outcome of our efforts. When we obsess over these, we invite frustration, anxiety, and disappointment. The Stoic approach is simple. Focus only on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and responses to situations. Imagine being stuck in traffic. You can't control the delay, but you can control your reaction. Instead of getting angry, you can use the time to listen to an audiobook, practice deep breathing, or reflect on your day. This mindset shift reduces stress and increases mental resilience. By embracing this principle, you take ownership of your happiness. You stop blaming others, circumstances, or luck. Instead, you direct your energy toward self-improvement and rational decision-making. A person who applies this rule lives with greater clarity and confidence, unshaken by life's uncertainties. The key is acceptance. When something is beyond your power, let it go. This doesn't mean passivity, but rather wisdom. The ability to discern where to invest your energy and when to surrender to the natural flow of life. 2. Detach from external validation. One of the greatest obstacles to true happiness is the constant need for approval from others. Stoicism teaches that seeking validation from the outside world is a losing battle, one that leads to anxiety, disappointment, and a lack of self-worth. Instead, happiness must come from within, rooted in virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." This highlights the paradox of human nature. We crave acceptance from others while neglecting our own judgment. The Stoics remind us that our worth is not defined by public opinion, social status, or external praise. Imagine someone criticizes you unfairly. If your happiness depends on others' approval, their words will shake your confidence. But if you have trained yourself to detach from external validation, their opinion holds no power over you. You remain steady, knowing that your self-worth is based on your actions and values, not the fleeting judgments of others. Detaching from external validation doesn't mean ignoring feedback or isolating yourself. It means developing an unshakable core, where you define your own success based on principles, not popularity. When you stop chasing applause and focus on living virtuously, you gain true freedom, the ability to act according to your values without fear of criticism or rejection. 3. Practice gratitude daily. Stoicism teaches that happiness is not found in acquiring more, but in appreciating what you already have. The more you focus on what is missing in your life, the more dissatisfied you become. But when you shift your mindset to gratitude, you cultivate contentment, resilience, and inner peace. Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." This means that true wealth is not about possessions, it's about perspective. No matter your circumstances, there is always something to be grateful for. Your health, your mind, the people who support you, or even the simple ability to breathe and experience life. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring hardships. Stoics acknowledge life's difficulties but choose to focus on what remains within their control, their attitude. Even in adversity, there is something to appreciate. A setback at work could be a chance to learn. A difficult relationship could teach patience. Every challenge carries an opportunity for growth. One powerful Stoic exercise is to reflect daily on what you're grateful for. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself of life's blessings in his personal writings. You can do the same by keeping a gratitude journal or taking a moment each morning to acknowledge 3 things you appreciate. This small habit rewires your mind to focus on abundance rather than lack, transforming your outlook on life. 4. Embrace discomfort and challenges. Stoicism teaches that a life free of challenges is not a life of happiness, but of stagnation. True growth and fulfillment come from embracing discomfort, facing hardships, and strengthening yourself through adversity. Instead of avoiding pain or seeking constant ease, Stoics welcome difficulty as a necessary part of becoming stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Epictetus stated, "Difficulties show a person's character, so, when trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler whom God has matched with a tough opponent." Hardships are not obstacles but opportunities to develop inner strength. If you never face discomfort, you never grow. A muscle only strengthens when pushed beyond its limits. And the same applies to the mind and character. Modern society often prioritizes convenience, comfort, and instant gratification, but this pursuit of ease weakens the spirit. If you avoid discomfort, small challenges feel overwhelming. However, if you deliberately embrace discomfort, whether through discipline, hard work, or endurance, you become unshakable in the face of life's difficulties. One way to build resilience is through voluntary hardship. Stoics practiced this by fasting, exposing themselves to the cold, or living simply for short periods. This wasn't self-punishment but training, a reminder that happiness is not dependent on luxury. You can apply this by stepping outside your comfort zone daily, whether through difficult conversations, intense workouts, or pushing yourself to achieve goals despite fear. The more you embrace discomfort, the more powerful and unbreakable you become. 5. Live with purpose and virtue. Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes not from wealth, fame, or pleasure, but from living a life of purpose and virtue. A life without direction leads to frustration and emptiness, but when you align your actions with your core values, you cultivate inner peace and fulfillment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This reminds us that happiness is not found in external rewards, but in living rightly. Stoicism defines virtue as 4 key principles: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When you commit to these, you create a life that is meaningful and aligned with your highest self. Without purpose, people drift, seeking distractions, chasing momentary pleasures, or living according to others' expectations. But purpose gives you direction, resilience, and a reason to wake up each morning with determination. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand. It can be as simple as being a good parent, serving your community, or constantly improving yourself. What matters is that it is guided by virtue rather than selfish desires. To live with purpose, reflect on your values and ensure your daily actions align with them. Ask yourself, am I acting with integrity? Am I contributing positively to the world? When you live with virtue, you develop a sense of fulfillment that no amount of external success can replace. Purpose is the anchor that keeps you steady, no matter what storms life brings. 6. Master your emotions. Don't be ruled by them. Stoicism teaches that emotions themselves are not the problem. It is our uncontrolled reactions to them that lead to suffering. To live a happy and peaceful life, one must learn to master emotions rather than be enslaved by them. This doesn't mean suppressing feelings, but understanding and controlling them with reason and wisdom. Seneca wrote, "Most powerful is he who has himself in his own power." This means that true strength comes from self-control. Anger, fear, sadness and frustration are natural, but letting them dictate your actions leads to regret. Instead of reacting impulsively, a Stoic pauses, reflects and responds with clarity. One effective Stoic practice is premeditatio malorum, visualizing potential hardships before they happen. By mentally preparing for difficulties, you reduce the emotional shock when they arise. For example, if someone insults you, instead of reacting with anger, remind yourself that their words have no real power unless you give them weight. You remain calm and unshaken. Another method is cognitive distancing, observing emotions without identifying with them. Instead of saying, "I am angry," say, "I notice anger arising in me." This simple shift reminds you that emotions are temporary visitors, not masters of your fate. Mastering emotions does not mean becoming emotionless. It means responding with wisdom, acting in alignment with your values, and not allowing fleeting feelings to control your decisions. A person who masters their emotions masters their life. 7. Memento mori, remember you will die. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is memento mori, the constant reminder that life is temporary and death is inevitable. This is not meant to inspire fear, but to encourage you to live with urgency, purpose and gratitude. When you truly understand that your time is limited, you stop wasting it on trivial things and start focusing on what truly matters. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This simple yet profound idea urges us to stop procrastinating and start living fully. Many people live as if they have unlimited time, postponing dreams, avoiding difficult conversations and delaying personal growth. But when you embrace the reality of death, you gain clarity. You no longer waste time on meaningless distractions, grudges, or worrying about things beyond your control. Memento mori also helps you appreciate the present moment. If today were your last, would you spend it complaining? Would you dwell on the past or worry about the future? Or would you embrace the moment, express love to those around you, and pursue what truly fulfills you? The Stoics even used death as a tool for emotional resilience. When facing hardships, they reminded themselves that, in the grand scheme of life, all struggles are temporary. This perspective frees you from fear and allows you to live with greater courage, wisdom, and appreciation for each passing moment. 8. Amor fati, love your fate no matter what. Stoicism teaches that instead of resisting life's events, we should embrace them fully. Amor fati, a Latin phrase meaning love of fate, is the idea that everything that happens, whether good or bad, is necessary for our growth. Rather than wishing things were different, a Stoic accepts reality and finds meaning in every experience. Friedrich Nietzsche later echoed this Stoic principle, saying, "My formula for greatness in a human being is amor fati, that one wants nothing to be different, not forward, not backward, not in all eternity." This mindset removes suffering caused by resistance. When you stop fighting reality and instead welcome every challenge, setback, and unexpected turn, you develop true resilience. Most people struggle with what they cannot change. They complain about unfairness, dwell on the past, or resist difficulties. But a Stoic sees every event as an opportunity to grow. If you lose a job, it's a chance to pivot towards something greater. If you face heartbreak, it's a lesson in strength and self-discovery. Life does not happen to you, it happens for you. Practicing amor fati means embracing life's hardships with the same enthusiasm as its joys. When difficulties arise, don't ask why me, instead ask how can I use this? Everything in life is a lesson, a test, or a stepping stone toward wisdom. By fully accepting and loving your fate, you free yourself from suffering and unlock a deep sense of peace. 9. Speak less, listen more. Stoicism teaches that wisdom is gained not through constant talking, but through careful listening and thoughtful reflection. In a world where many speak to be heard rather than to understand, mastering the art of silence is a sign of true strength and intelligence. The less you speak impulsively, the more you observe, learn, and make decisions based on reason rather than emotion. Epictetus warned, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This simple yet profound idea reminds us that listening is more valuable than speaking. Many conflicts, misunderstandings, and regrets come from careless words spoken in haste. A Stoic, however, practices restraint, choosing words carefully and only speaking when necessary. Speaking less also means avoiding unnecessary debates, gossip, and arguments. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This means that instead of endlessly discussing opinions or trying to prove oneself, a wise person leads by example. By cultivating silence, you develop patience and self-discipline. You learn to observe people's true intentions, think before reacting, and avoid words that might later bring regret. When you do speak, your words carry more weight because they come from a place of wisdom and understanding. A person who speaks less and listens more gains deeper insight, builds stronger relationships, and approaches life with greater clarity and composure. 10. Simplicity leads to contentment. Stoicism teaches that a happy life is not found in luxury, excess, or endless desires, but in simplicity. The more we chase material things, status, and external pleasures, the more restless and unsatisfied we become. True contentment comes from needing less, not having more. Seneca warned against the endless pursuit of wealth, saying, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." This highlights a fundamental Stoic truth. Happiness is not about accumulating possessions, but about mastering your desires. The moment you free yourself from the need for more, you gain true freedom. Many people mistakenly believe that buying more, upgrading their lifestyle, or achieving a certain status will bring lasting happiness. But as soon as they get what they want, they start desiring the next thing. This cycle of endless wanting creates stress and dissatisfaction. Stoicism teaches us to break free from this by embracing a life of simplicity. Practicing simplicity doesn't mean living in poverty or rejecting all comforts. It means finding joy in what you already have. A Stoic trains themselves to be content with little, focusing on what truly matters: wisdom, relationships, and inner peace. By simplifying your life, whether by decluttering, reducing unnecessary commitments, or letting go of social pressures, you create space for genuine happiness. When you stop being controlled by unnecessary wants and distractions, you gain clarity, peace, and a deep sense of gratitude. Simplicity is not about having less, it's about making room for what truly matters. 11. Help others, but don't seek their approval. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good, and one of the greatest virtues is helping others. However, true generosity and kindness should come from within, not as a way to seek approval or validation. When you do good for others, do it because it aligns with your values, not because you expect recognition or praise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A person who does good must not expect gratitude, but must simply find satisfaction in having done what is right." This means that the joy of helping should come from the act itself, not from how others respond. If you seek praise, you become dependent on external validation, which is beyond your control. True Stoic wisdom is helping without attachment to the outcome. Many people feel disappointed when their good deeds go unnoticed or unappreciated. They expect kindness in return or gratitude for their efforts. But Stoicism reminds us that we should act virtuously regardless of how others react. If someone does not acknowledge your help, it does not lessen the value of your actions. Helping others also doesn't mean allowing yourself to be used or taken advantage of. A Stoic understands the balance between generosity and self-respect. Give what you can, but don't let your well-being suffer in the process. Serve others, but never at the cost of your inner peace. By helping without seeking approval, you cultivate true selflessness and inner strength. Your kindness becomes a reflection of your character, not a tool for validation. When you detach from others' reactions, you experience the pure joy of giving without expectation.